Let's build a simple RAG system without any frameworks like LangChain or Llama Index. We'll also see how using a reasoning model like DeepSeek can really supercharge your RAG application. Our RAG system is going to contain two different parts. First is going to be indexing or knowledge base creation, and the second part is going to be retrieval or generation. For generation, we will need a powerful LLM. That's where the SambaNova Cloud is going to come in. More on this later in the video. Here, I have implemented both these components in Python without using any frameworks. We have two main files. One is indexing.py, the other one is retrieval.py. Both of them are going to be available in the Github repo. Link is going to be in the video description. Let me walk you through the code. So first, we'll need to load our documents. Then we'll need to chunk them, compute embeddings for those chunks, and put those embeddings along with the chunks in a vector store. During the retrieval process, we'll compute embeddings of the user query. Then we'll do retrieval using top-k documents. Normally, people use cosine similarity or similar metrics. Then we pass those relevant chunks along with the user query to the LLM. There are some other steps like re-ranking of the return chunks, but the reasoning models have the ability to do the re-ranking directly when it's generating the response. I'll show you an example later in the video. Also, the choice of the LLM will play a critical role when it comes to the accuracy of the answers that are being generated. So first we'll look at the indexing process. Here we have a function that is going to load PDF files from a given directory. In this case, the directory is called data. And you can see I have three different research papers in here. We load each file, then I'm using PyPDF reader to extract text from each of the files and then put them together in this text variable. We are also assigning it some metadata, which essentially is the file name in this case. This function loads all the PDF files and returns the text contained within those files. Next, we need to create chunks out of those text blobs. I'm using a very naive and simple chunking strategy. There are more advanced techniques that are supported in different libraries. If you are interested in more advanced retrieval augmented generation techniques, I'd highly recommend to check out my course called RAG Beyond Basics. Link is going to be in the video description. So we take each document plus the corresponding metadata, and then we divide those documents into chunks of 500 characters with an overlap of 50 characters. Next, those chunks are passed on to an embedding model to compute embeddings. In this case, I'm using an open weight embedding model that is available on Hugging Face. And the idea is that we take each chunk individually, pass it to the embedding model to create embeddings for that chunk. Next, we're going to put everything in a vector store. Right now, I'm using FICE. You can use Chroma, pgvector, Pinecone, Qdrant. There are a lot of different. So here, we take all our embeddings that were pre-computed and then store them in a vector store using FICE. So here is how the whole flow looks like. We first load our documents from the directory. We're going to look at the actual documents. These are very diverse documents on different research topics. Then we convert those into chunks, compute embeddings for each of the chunks, and then we store them in a vector store. And we also are storing the original text chunks. So here is a JSON file that contains the original text chunks. The test documents are pretty diverse. There are three different research papers on completely different topics. The first one is related to COVID. So how do you figure out the presence of COVID from chest x-rays using convolutional neural networks or deep learning techniques? The second is how you can estimate the byte weight using commercial earbuds. So this talks about different signal processing techniques. The third one is a paper where you can detect presence of chewing using variable systems. I worked on some of these topics during my PhD, so I'm really familiar with this area. And that's why I'm using those papers as an example for this RAG system. Now, let's talk about the retrieval or generation part and how it's implemented. So in this case, we need a powerful LLM. I'm using SambaNova Cloud for this. we load the embeddings that we just computed along with the actual text chunks that were created. And since we need to compute embeddings for our query, we load the same embedding model. So first we need to embed our query that we will receive from the user. Then using cosine similarity, we return top k. In this case, I'm returning the top 20 documents. In general, if you want to use a re-ranking model, you want to retrieve quite a large number, let's say 50 or 100, and then use a re-ranking model to select top 5, top 15, or top 20 documents. But since we are going to be using a reasoning model has the ability to do re-ranking without the need for a separate re-ranking model. Then based on the indices, we extract the relevant text chunks. Then we pass on the context along with this augmented prompt to the LLM to generate the final response. Now, I'll show you a couple of variations of this prompt and we'll show you how it impacts the output. In this simple case, the prompt is, please answer the following question based on the context provided. If the context does not answer question, then it will simply say, I'm sorry, because the provided context does not have the information to answer your question. Next, we will use the OpenAI Python SDK, but the LLM is going to be coming from SambaNova Cloud, so we need to provide the SambaNova API key. Right now, you can use this platform for absolutely free. Next, we pass on our prompt along with the model name to the client to generate the final responses. For the generation part, we need an LLM, and I'm going to be using the SambaNova Cloud for this purpose, which is also the sponsor of today's video. They have a number of different open weight models available. They create custom hardware which are an alternative to GPUs. So think of them as a competitor to Grok or Cerebras, who also create custom hardwares. SambaNova is building custom hardware for LLM inference, and they are calling them reconfigurable data flow units or RDUs. This is an alternative to GPU. Unlike Grok, they just started hosting the full DeepSeek R1 model. This is not a distilled model, but the actual full R1, and they are hosting it at almost 200 tokens per second, which is pretty incredible because all the data is going to be within the US. And as far I know, this is the only inference provider that is using custom hardware to host the full R1. One model is currently available in their playground, and there is a waitlist for the API access, but the other models are already available through their API, and you can start experimenting with this for absolutely free. If you go to APIs, here's the list of all the models that are available through the API currently. For the DeepSeek R1, you'll have to join the waitlist, but we have the DeepSeek R1 distilled Llama 70 billion, and that's the model I'm going to be using in my tests. So I have a configuration file called .env. Here I'm going to replace the model with the DeepSeek R1 distilled 70 billion. This is the base URL that is going to be used for interacting with the SambaNova Cloud. Okay, so I'm going to run the retrieval.py file. I'm going to ask a very specific question. Now we are doing this with the default prompt. So my prompt is the impact of byte size on intake. Now byte size itself doesn't have a direct correlation with intake. Byte rate or the number of chews does, but let's see if it can figure that out. So here are all the documents that were used as the relevant chunks. The quality differs a lot. So this is directly related to our question. But if you look at a chunk like this, it only contains a reference to a research paper, a list of authors and the title, nothing really significant to our prompt. Now here's what the internal chain of thought looks like. Now during the internal chain of thought, it is looking at each document individually and then trying to figure out if there is any information related to byte size. So for example, it starts off with document 1. It talks about reducing the byte rate and how increasing or decreasing the rate of intake affects energy intake. It mentions that increasing the number of chews per byte can reduce total mass intake, right? So that's a segment which is directly relevant. But it's smart enough that it says that this relates more to chewing rate than byte size directly, right? And it does the whole thing for other chunks as well. For example, chunk 16 talks about classification results for chewing segments. it says not byte size. So essentially, it's doing a re-ranking step before actually generating the final response. So at the end, it says, after reviewing all the documents, I don't see any information that directly addresses the impact of byte size on intake. The context more on chewing rate or number of chews and byte rate rather than size of each byte, right? And the final answer that it shows to the user is, I'm sorry, but the provided context does not have the information to answer your question. Now, let's see what happens if I ask it the impact of byte rate on intake. Now, this is the information that is actually available in the paper, and document number 1 provides a pretty good context around it. Again, it's looking at each of the documents. So at the end, it says the impact of the byte rate on intake is significant. Studies indicate that reducing the byte rate, such as slowing down eating or increasing the number of chews per byte, leads to reduction in energy intake. Now, in this case, if you look at the documents, it listed only the ones that it thinks are relevant, so not really the whole list. But still, the answer that it comes up with is correct based on the provided context and the research papers. But we can enhance the reasoning capabilities by improving our prompt. So I added this part, which essentially asks it to analyze each document in context and identify if it contains the answer. Then assign a score to each document based on its relevance to the question, and then use this information to ignore documents that are not relevant to the question. And also make sure to list the most relevant documents first and then answer the question based on those documents only. Now, using this approach, we can essentially replace a separate re-ranker model. So here are the results with the updated prompt. Now, it thinks that document 1, 2, 5, 6, and 15 are the most relevant documents. So if you look at document 5, for example, it talks about chew count for studying different aspects of eating. The study rely on modification of eating behavior by increasing the number of chews per bite or modifying the chewing rate. Study 6 talks about chewing rate estimated from chewing sound captured through a miniature microphone, proposed for estimating per bite for different food types. This is more of an automated way to count the number of chews by capturing the chew sound, but I think it's still relevant because it actually is coming up with a technique for accurately counting the number of chews per bite. But one of the biggest problem with the reasoning models is that it will generate a lot of tokens compared to a non-reasoning model. And that's why you need to have a really fast inference. So for example, when we are trying the distilled Llama 70 billion, SambaNova is able to provide almost 250 tokens per second. And this is critical because it generates a lot of thinking tokens and the user will have to wait a lot. You can start experimenting with their platform for absolutely free. Make sure to check it out. Link is going to be in the video description. I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching. And as always, see you in the next one.